Global majority. This appears to be a new term that has been adopted by certain educational establishments, particularly King's College in London, who is now using the term global majority, and for what purpose? To exclude white people. That's the gist of it. So they invited their staff to attend Tai Chi courses in order to alleviate stress triggered by racism. They made it extremely clear that if you were not of an ethnic minority background, or shall we now say global majority background, then you are not welcome to this class. I'm not sure why we have racial segregation here in Britain today in 2023, but I find it very, very worrying, and I think it's something that every single person in this country should be concerned about. Now, if you look at exactly what they said, they stressed that the sessions were restricted to staff who identify as Black, people of colour or global majority. In other words, no white people. Now, Nana Akua wrote a fantastic article about this in the Daily Mail, highlighting the absurdity of this and the sinister aspect of this. And anyone who has common sense will agree. No matter what your ethnic background is, you will agree that this is racially divisive, it is inflammatory, and it is wrong on so many levels. Now, I will read out something that one particular individual who apparently is largely responsible for this phrase. Her name is Rosemary Campbell Stevens, a Black British academic. Now, she has said something that I personally find to be extremely offensive and disgusting. Now, she has said that white people, primarily white men who supposedly hold the social, political and economic power, they are an elite minority, but then goes on to say that this elite minority is aided and abetted across the globe by those who are not white, but want desperately to appropriate whiteness to share in the spoils. I find this deeply offensive, really offensive, because she is now addressing the people who are not white, but who may have, I wouldn't say white values, but British values, who are proud of their country, proud of their history, who can look beyond skin colour, who don't see colour or ethnicity as she does and as others like her do, but purely look at the person and the individual. People who are not white, but have these values, who are British, essentially. Now, what people like her don't seem to understand is that they are the ones who are the racist. They are the ones who are creating racial divide. They are the ones who are generating segregation in this country. Now, they like to use terms such as coconut, for example, a very racist term, but according to them, it's okay to be racist one way, but it's not all right to be racist if it's white towards non-white. But if it's non-white towards white, apparently that's perfectly acceptable. Until they realise that racism works both ways, then they're always going to be promoting this type of hatred and divide. Now, as a mixed race woman, I have experienced racism from both sides. You know, from the far right. I mean, throughout my life, this has been happening. The far right, even till this day, will say, take one look at me and say, you're not English, you've got no right to defend this country. And then the far left, which I believe are these people, will take one look at me and say, yeah, you're not English, you have no right to defend this country. So they are all coming from the same place, but they are simply on opposite sides, and yet they have the same mentality. What they have in common is they can't get beyond skin colour. They can't get beyond ethnic background. And because of that, they themselves are the racists. And now we have this new term, global majority, a dangerous term, a divisive term, and a term that should not be anywhere near our educational establishment. This type of thing, what is going on in King's College, is disgusting, and it should be investigated. Why is this even happening in our universities? It needs to be investigated and stopped.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.